pick up yourself and go. You will find it's all you need to do. Reach down inside and find out you're the one. You're the one to fly, yeah. The one to reach. You can do all things, just choose it.
Blessings, blessings, blessings to you. Come on in. I am going to ask you to please like, share, comment, subscribe, and give us some warm hearts and likes. This evening we have author Joseph A. Howell with us. Joseph is a 54-year-old man who is very sensitive and emotional at times. Strong emotions trigger a natural gift for being able to write poetry. When he is faced with strong emotions, his mind automatically starts to rhyme in his head. This is a gift that he cannot control even if he want to, or invoke whenever he wants to. Joseph can occasionally tap into other people's emotions to write a poem for them. That is how he was able to write some of the poems in his book, From Her Perspective. How are you, author Joseph Howell?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing well. I am doing well. It is good to see the face to the voice.
Thank you.
We've been talking for a long time. We have been speaking for a long time. Tell us, how did Princess in the Night come about?
Well, first off, it was never intended to be a book. It was my emotions while going through a very difficult time in my life. I had a girlfriend who was an addict, and at the time she was an addict in recovery. At the time I was a truck driver, and I was always gone, and unbeknownst to me, she relapsed into her addiction. And by the time I got home and found out, it was pretty much too late to do anything. She had gone through my entire life savings. She had opened up my house to a bunch of her drug addict friends. And yeah, actually, when I got home, I was possibly facing charges for maintaining a drug house, even though I wasn't even there. She got caught stealing everything out of my house. She got caught for stealing my son's guitar worth over $5,000 that she pawned for $35 so she could get some meth. Her name was on the pawn slip. She swore up and down she had nothing to do with the theft out of the house, which also included guns. Like I say, her name was on the pawn slip, so they arrested her. She ended up in jail for a year. And while she was in jail, all of my emotions, everything I was going through after everything that had just happened, I started writing poems, and I was mailing them into her, into the jail.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the guards have to read everything that comes in,
Right.
all the mail that comes in, and they make copies of everything because the inmates never get the original. I found out that some of the guards were actually reading my poems and liking them enough to make extra copies for themselves to take home. Once she would get done reading the poems that I would mail into her, she would let other people read them. And while she was in there, she was in Celebrate Recovery. The other inmates who were also in Celebrate Recovery started using my poems in their group therapy to deal with emotions that they don't want to face. Once these other inmates were getting out of jail, they made it a point to contact me to tell me how much my poems helped them
Wow.
while they were in there. Most of them told me that I need to put them together in a book, and I really didn't think I was good enough for that. Then I got a call from her lawyer, who is also getting copies of the poems. The prosecutor also got copies of the poems, and they both told me that I need to put it together in a book.
Wow.
I still wasn't sure, so I had some friends of mine read some of the poems. One of my friends that was doing the reading was an English lit major at the University of Michigan. And she told me that it's some of the best poetry she's ever read in her life. So another friend of mine, her mother was a published author, and I was told by her to put it all together in a book and send it out to as many different publishers as I could, because it's not easy for a first-time author to get published. I put it together in a book, sent it out to 4 different publishers, and ended up with 8 publishing houses wanting to publish my book. So I had 8 contracts to choose from. I chose to go with Austin McCulley. They seem to have the biggest marketing and global reach with their multiple corporate headquarters around the world. And my book became reality.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. What a story. What a powerful story. God is good and worthy, I tell you. That's amazing. Yes. So let me ask you this. With all the pain that it caused, why, did you actually write the book? Was it painful for you to do it? Did Princess in the Night, did it energize you or exhausted you when you was writing it?
It devastated me. Well, I was devastated already from what was going on.
Right.
The poems were my kind of self-imposed therapy to deal with everything that was going on, to get my emotions out. And I was sending them to her in jail so that she knew what I was going through and why my emotions were all over the place. But no, it was emotionally, it was good and therapeutic for me to write the poems at a time where I was emotionally devastated.
Wow. Wow. So what was the most difficult part of writing your book? What was the most difficult?
The most difficult I would have to say that I was fighting with myself, because first, like I said before, I didn't think I was good enough.
Wow.
Even though I had 8 offers and I had chosen a publisher, everybody was enthusiastic about the book, but still I didn't think I was good enough. It's difficult to explain, because everybody's telling me I'm great and they love my work and everything else, and I'm thinking to myself, everybody's just being polite. They're saying that because they're being polite.
So let me ask you, why did you think that you weren't good enough? Is it because of the relationship, how you was treated? It's
I
a
think
reason
that
why.
I think the biggest reason was the way I was raised.
Okay.
I was a middle child, and you know, older brother, older sister, and a younger sister. And I never really got a lot of compliments or praise
Okay.
from anybody. So it was difficult to see myself as being very good at something. It's hard. When you're not used to getting compliments and praise, it's very difficult to accept it when it does come.
Right, right. No, I definitely understand that. But you see differently today though, right? You see
Mm,
yourself worthy with God. You are worthy. You know that.
oh, I've been blessed with, well, it's a blessing and a curse, all of the emotions that I have. But I am blessed, and I have been given the gift of being able to write poems that are extremely emotional, but it takes its toll on me, so that part's a
Of
curse.
course, of course.
It's, yeah, a blessing and a curse.
The best thing when you get like that or you feel like that, you take it to God in prayer because He will help you. He will help you. You say it was a curse, but it was more of a blessing for you.
Yes,
It was more
definitely.
of a blessing for you.
Definitely. And being so emotional, uh, it's hard for other people to relate to me.
Okay.
You know, guys are supposed to be stoic, not show emotions, and I'm just not like that. I am a very emotional man.
Right. And that's okay. So my next question to you is, because I'm curious, what was the first book that made you cry?
Oh, it's that's difficult because I never really was much of a reader.
Okay.
I was more, uh, I don't want to say academic because I wasn't academic at the time. I was more into the physical sciences
Okay.
and not really much of a reader of books.
Okay.
But uh, I do love the Harry Potter series and
Okay.
the Hunger Games series.
The Hunger Games. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had
But
a
did it?
girlfriend who got me to read.
Okay. Okay. So, but they didn't make you cry though, right?
No,
No.
no. What makes
Right.
me cry? What makes me cry is when I feel empathy and other people's pain.
Right.
That
Okay.
that's what gets me. Reading a
Right.
book, I can get into the characters, yes, but I still know that it's fiction. But when I'm with somebody and they're hurting, I can also, feel their pain emotionally because I can put myself in their situation.
Right. Right. That's so true. That's so true. Define poetry for me.
Poetry, that's it's different things for different people.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, oh, they don't understand it or they can't follow along with poetry. Poetry, basically, it's emotions in words. It doesn't have to rhyme as long as your words convey the emotions or carry the emotions to the reader. That's poetry. There are a lot of different styles. Some have rigid structures like a haiku,
Right.
but other forms of poetry, it can just come down to somebody writing their emotions in a way that describe them to where the reader will actually be able to feel what the writer is trying to convey.
Right. Wow.
There are some great poets out there.
Oh yes.
And they're all over the internet. There are
Yes.
poetry groups on the internet. I'm a member of 127 of them. I get questions all the time from other poets wanting to do what I've done, and that's put together a book.
Right. Right.
And all I can tell them is put them together in a format and send it out to publishers.
Right.
If the publishers are interested and they think you're good enough, they will let you know.
Right. Right. That's true. That's true. You know, many people say poetry is dying. Do you agree or disagree with this statement, and why?
No, I do not agree with that statement. Poetry is life. Poetry is life. It's real life. It's emotions. It's what people are going through in their lives. I think I just misunderstood your question. If poetry is dying, did you mean if it was dying out? That people just aren't
Yes.
interested in it anymore?
Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. You was answering it correctly.
All right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are definitely interested in poetry.
Poetry.
They want to feel the emotions from somebody else, which are also things that they are going through themselves, and they just can't put it into words. Like with the poem that I'm going to read later, Addiction.
Yes.
It affects people to the point where they start crying.
It is powerful piece.
Yeah, most of the people that read my book even though it's only 50 poems, they cannot read it straight through. They have to stop. They have to take an emotional break from reading because for a lot of people, it's overwhelming. A lot of people won't even, after reading the first few, they won't even go back to the book for fear that it's going to bring up more emotions. I have a friend. Her son overdosed on heroin, and she can't read the book because it's still too fresh for her. She's got the book and she's read a couple of the poems, but she had to put it down because she just can't deal with everything that's going on in her head because it's all too fresh.
Wow. Do you think the internet and social media contribute to the well-being of poetry?
There are groups on the internet that support, where poets support each other.
Okay.
Writers groups, poetry groups.
Yes.
There is a definite presence on the internet that is positive. There are some trolls that will try and attack people.
Right.
And tell them that they are not good enough. Tell them they're not worthy. Instead of giving constructive criticism, they just want to tear somebody down. But you're going to get that in any type of a group. Most of the time, thank God, they get banned from the group. And positive reinforcement is there, help is there.
Yes.
Some people get offended by the help. I mean, if somebody posts a poem that is structurally not the best that it could be, and somebody corrects the, as simple as the cadence, the flow of the poem. If somebody corrects that and sends it back to them, they get offended. But in my opinion, there has to be a flow, a cadence to poetry. It can be a random cadence. It can be a repeating cadence, but if you start one, you have to stay with it throughout the whole poem or it falls apart.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that's constructive criticism and helping one another.
Right. Right.
That's
Okay.
what these groups on the internet are all about.
Yes. Yes. For sure. For sure. Is there going to be a part 2 for Princess in the Night? If not,
There is.
tell us about your next book idea.
There is going to be a sequel.
Okay.
The name of the sequel is going to be Angel That I See. Actually, if you have the book Princess in the Night, you've already got the cover photo on the back of the book. Angel That I See basically picks up where Princess in the Night left off.
Okay.
Princess in the Night is all about love, drugs, addiction, incarceration, loss, betrayal, overdose, and suicide. The next book, Angel That I See, is going to be about recovery, healing, moving on, putting the past behind you, finding new love,
All right now.
and living your best life.
Yes.
I'm almost finished with it,
Okay.
but I do not have the emotions to write the very last poem for that book, which is going to be a poem titled Love. I'm still struggling. Well, not really struggling. I'm still looking for somebody special in my life. And once I have that, I hopefully will have the emotions to be able to write that last poem.
All right.
When that happens, the book will be out.
All right now. What advice do you have for writers that's working on their first book?
Don't get discouraged. Remember, Harry Potter was rejected, 20 times
Yes.
before she found a publisher?
Mm-hmm.
There is a niche for everything.
Yes.
If you if you're out there trying to get your book published and somebody gives you some constructive criticism, listen to them, but make up your own mind. You don't have to change your book to please one other person.
Right.
If you get test readers, like I have test readers for my next book, if they like what you've written, go with it. If you got 20 people that say, yeah, great, it's great, I love it, don't worry about the one person that says, well, I would have done it differently. It's
right.
It's like that.
Right. Right.
Keep going. Keep writing.
Keep writing. That's it. You have to keep writing. You never know. You never know when it's going to happen, but if you keep writing, it's going to happen.
Right.
It will happen. Joseph, we are coming to a close because I want to give time for you to read your poem. So we're going to close. Thank you for watching live. For those that will be watching the replay, thank you. Author Joseph Howard, thank you for appearing on the show tonight. Keep the pen to the paper.
Yes.
You are an amazing writer.
Thank you.
And you have no reason or no right to think you're not worthy, because you are. You are. Your work is inspirational. Your work are very, very inspirational. Keep on keeping on. Keep on writing. Keep on writing. And I'll have you on the show again when the second one come out, when part 2 come out, for sure.
Angel that I see. I will definitely
Yes.
let you know.
Yes. Join us next week. We have none other than the inspirational gospel recording artist, Jazz E. Matt. His music is not only astonished, but influential, providing heartfelt, lyrical, positive, uplifting, and encouraging messages which are delivered through God's mouth to his ears and from his mouth to the world. If anyone knows that God is a healer, it's Jazz E. Matt. He is a stage 4 cancer survivor. Tune in next week. You do not want to miss this powerful interview. Good night. God bless. Stay safe. And check out my website, DeniseNewsome.com. We're going to close with the poem Addiction by author Joseph Howard.
Addiction. My addiction is a demon much more powerful than me. This demon is my master, so please just let us be. I want so much to end it all, I can't take this anymore. Just hand me my needle, then walk right out the door. Please don't try to help me. For some it never works. If you get into its way, you'll end up getting hurt. This addiction is killing me. I know that this is true. If you do not run away, this demon will hurt you too. This demon is controlling me. Its will I must obey. I have asked that you please walk away. Why do you choose to stay? Do not come with all your love. I just don't want to feel. Love will always go away. My wounds will never heal. Why do you choose to give your love? It cannot fix the pain. If you think your love can heal, you are just insane. Every time I try to fight, it will come back even stronger. Please just let me die so I can't hurt you any longer. Recovery is for others. For me, there's no way back. This demon will always find me, and then it will attack. Why won't you just give up now and leave us all alone? This demon lives inside me. I am its only home. I no longer have the strength to fight this demon every day. You say that you will not give up to help me find a way. You say that you love me. You don't want to see me die. I tell you that I love you too. I don't want to see you cry. You promised to be here for me to help me one more time. I feel I am not worth your love. You tell me you are mine. I would sacrifice my life for you to help you win this fight. You are worth all my love, my princess in the night. I hope you enjoyed that. That one has...
You just need a little more time.